A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant shift in the legal landscape of England and Wales, the government has announced a new law that will require the Sentencing Council to obtain explicit approval from the Justice Secretary before issuing any new sentencing guidelines. This decision has emerged in the wake of a public dispute earlier this year, which saw the Sentencing Council at the center of controversy regarding pre-sentence reports for offenders from specific minority groups. Justice Secretary Shabana Mahmood, who will now hold veto powers over any new sentencing guidance, emphasized the importance of parliamentary oversight in setting policy that directly affects the justice system. Mahmood stated, "Policy must be set by parliamentarians who answer to the people," underlining her belief in the need for greater democratic and judicial oversight of the Council's work. The Sentencing Council, an independent body responsible for issuing guidelines to courts, has faced scrutiny for its previous recommendations, which suggested that judges should consider the backgrounds of offenders from ethnic, cultural, or faith minority communities when determining punishments. These recommendations were intended to address disparities in sentencing outcomes, as official figures indicate that offenders from ethnic minorities often receive longer sentences compared to their white counterparts. However, the proposed guidelines sparked accusations of creating a two-tiered justice system, with critics arguing that they favored certain groups over others. In response to the backlash, Mahmood has introduced new measures as part of the sentencing bill, which is set to be presented in the House of Commons. Under the new rules, both the Justice Secretary and the Lady Chief Justice, the head of the judiciary, will have to approve any future guidelines before they can be enacted. If either party opposes the guidance, it will not be issued. This development has raised concerns about the potential impact on judicial independence, although Mahmood has assured that individual sentencing decisions will remain the responsibility of the independent judiciary. She stated, "Individual sentencing decisions will always be the responsibility of the independent judiciary, and this is something I will staunchly defend." The introduction of the veto power comes after the government intervened earlier this year to block updated Sentencing Council guidance that would have mandated pre-sentence reports for offenders from certain demographics, including young adults, women, and pregnant individuals. Critics of the guidelines, including conservative Shadow Justice Secretary Robert Jenrick, argued that they amounted to biased treatment against straight white men and were an example of two-tier justice. The government has also faced pressure from various political factions, with some calling for a complete overhaul of the sentencing framework to ensure fairness and equality. The new legislation not only aims to restructure the approval process for sentencing guidelines, but also includes measures to address prison overcrowding. These measures may introduce Texas-style earned release sentences, allowing prisoners to be released early based on good behavior, and toughen community punishments while abolishing most short-term prison sentences. This comprehensive approach seeks to reform the justice system while maintaining a focus on public safety and rehabilitation. As the sentencing bill is introduced, it remains to be seen how these changes will affect the functioning of the judiciary and the broader implications for justice in England and Wales. The government insists that these reforms will enhance democratic accountability and ensure that the sentencing framework is reflective of public values. However, critics warn that the increased political control over sentencing guidelines could undermine the principles of justice and equality before the law. The debate surrounding these changes is likely to continue as various stakeholders weigh in on the implications for the future of the criminal justice system in the UK. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.